Every now and then one has the opportunity to be involved in something, engage in something, meet somebody or hear about something that makes more than a little difference in our community and in the world. Now let me hasten to say that anywhere or any position in which one can make a difference, that ought to be done. Whether it's in the neighborhood, on the block, in the city, in the county, in the state, in the country, in the world. But every now and then, something comes along that can have a significant impact on the betterment of the world in a given area. So I'm more than a little pleased and a little happy and a little thrilled to be able to bring to you a concept, more than a concept, a project and a program that's going to impact the world educationally. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and I'm pleased to have with me today Mr. Kelvin Cates, better known as Khao, Khao, who is a Grammy Award nominated producer and has done several other things. And really, I want you to go now, hurry, and go and get everybody you know. Get everybody in the house to come to the TV, because we're going to talk about improving the educational system in our community. And then mama and grandmama and auntie and cousin and brother and everybody needs to be familiar with this program, needs to know about it, and needs to realize the impact that it can have. But first we're going to let Khao tell a little bit about himself.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, brother. Great to be here. My name's Kelvin Khao Cates, like Mr. Habersham was saying. I'm a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum music producer. Raised in Montgomery, Alabama. Resigned in Atlanta. Sold over 30 million records. Worked with artists like T.I. Produced the Why You Wanna Go and Do That for T.I. Worked with R. Kelly, Ludacris, Ruben Studdard, everyone from your Lil Waynes to Snoop Dogg's, you name it. Been doing a lot, but that isn't really the thing that really did it for me. My dad would always tell me it's one thing to be successful and another thing to be significant. And I didn't quite understand what he meant by that until after he passed away, and I really started going on my quest of saying, wow, how could I actually become significant? And that's when I was at an award show, and a gentleman by the name of Dr. Charles Steele, president of the SCLC, came to this award show, this hip-hop award show, and apologized to everyone in the room on behalf of himself, Dr. King's organization, and his generation for not passing the torch. And said there was a lot we could learn from each other, and that's when the light bulb came on, and I knew what I needed to do to become significant. Because our generation's so busy chasing the money to where we're repeating that process. And that's when I went on the path of creating Bridge the Gap.
Now, Bridge the Gap is and the interesting thing is his products are two-tiered. It's more than just one thing. It's Bridge the Gap and curriculum. So talk a little bit first about Bridge the Gap.
Okay, well, Bridge the Gap, and I grab a textbook here. So Bridge the Gap is a textbook that I wrote. It came to me in a dream, literally. And I woke up and I couldn't stop writing. And I'm like, okay, what do our youth need? They need patience. They need self-determination. They need to know how to watch the company they keep. They need to know how to deal with losing a loved one. How to not make excuses in life. And before I knew it, I had 12 topics. And they're all deep-rooted topics, meaning a lot of times you see programs out here that may say, hey, it's just put the guns down. But if your program is about putting the guns down, then you're not really focusing on a solution. You're just magnifying what the end result is. So with Bridge the Gap, out of the 12 topics, they're all solution-based at the root. So if we were dealing with gang violence, our chapter in our book about self-love is where it starts. And because so many of the gang members that I've mentored, they joined the gang because they wanted to feel a part. They wanted to feel loved. And be a part of a family. Or if we're dealing with, even when it comes to bullying, our chapter on anger and teaching them how to, that anger is a natural, something naturally we all have, but at the same time we have to know how to make anger our servant and not our master, and teach them how to get over their past. But within the textbook, we literally cover 12 rooted problems that offspring to so many of the problems that our youth face today. And then I produce songs for each chapter, so they learn through the music. And it's really awesome. Megan Good, the world-renowned actress, is also on our board, and Megan Good and myself teach the course via, DVD or the online course. So it's just been an awesome experience for our youth. They've been able to connect, and it's helped them in ways to where, we've stopped gang wars, we've stopped so many things nationwide. And I mean, the book itself, it's like a magazine feel, so it keeps their attention. And it's just been a great experience, man, as far as Bridge the Gap. The grade point averages we've had within our test studies, first off, the office referrals actually decreased 41%. And there's many components to raising a grade point average, but within using Bridge the Gap, we had students rise from a 2.0 to a 2.3. And, we've been evaluated by Emory University. We're evidence-based, and, it's been 7 years now, and we've been serving not only throughout the U.S., but also all the schools in Nassau, Bahamas. And, now we're doing things in Japan, and we're heading to Africa, and, just happy to be here right now.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you here. We'll talk about the impact of and the concept behind intertwining music into trying to project these concepts and influence these ideas and these behaviors on the parts of these young people.
Well, when it comes to music is such a powerful thing that I don't think a lot of people even give the credit for. Music is the only thing that can be used where you can be in a horrible mood and hear a song and your whole spirit changes and you feel good. And within music, there's a formula within music that I was taught within production of understanding that it's almost scientific. And I'll give you an example. When it comes to music, hearing is just like any other sense. But you ever notice if you see something and it just looks horrible to you, if you see it every day, it doesn't look better. If you taste something and it's horrible, it doesn't taste better. But for music, you ever notice you can hear a song that's horrible and it grows on you. And you're like, I like this song now. But hearing is no different. It's the method within the music. So there's a scientific method that's been being used that people don't know about. They're aware, almost like hypnosis, and things are done in certain rhythmic ways. And if you really, I was blessed to be able to be taught this by some of the greats, and I've been able to use it for good now. So as you're hearing songs, especially through curriculum, our Bridge the Gap, it's about taking the proper message and setting it up in a rhythmic way with some banging music, and make it to where they now remember things. Right. They're retaining things that they wouldn't before. Right.
Well, now, specifically, I heard you say, spell that curriculum anyway.
Okay. It's K-O-O-L, curriculum, R-I-C-U-L-U-M.
Okay.
Like curriculum.
Yeah, I know. So what you're saying, so now when you say curriculum, does that mean that it tries to address the same kind of training and development and learning as curriculum?
Exactly. It just meets them where they are. And that's the beautiful thing about curriculum. I mean, I sit back, Alex, and I hear so many people say, well, this is wrong, or it's the superintendent's faults, or the teacher's faults, or the students' faults, or the faculty, but really and truthfully, it's just the outdated teaching system. And it's never been changed. I mean, they don't realize that the summertime was here back when sharecroppers needed the kids to work. Like it's never been changed. So with that being said, and the way it was set up was for all visual learners, but now you have auditory learners, kinesthetic learners, and if they don't fit in the factory that was originally done, they put them in a class saying that they're, they're
Alternative
behind.
school.
Exactly. And so with that being said, it's a situation where curriculum is here to meet our youth where they are. And no matter what kind of way that you're used to learning, you will be able to advance.
Okay, now you're telling me that you've taken, academic subjects, and in this curriculum, that you formulated them in a manner that can be used for teaching, whether it's English or math, and talk a little bit. Now, do you have a rap song that kind of matches up with every element of the instruction? And how many of those do you have?
Wow, it took a couple of more years, because after Bridge the Gap and after the dream came to me, it took me 2 years to write Bridge the Gap, and we and literally spent over $1 million to the date of finances that was there without just walking on faith. And so after Bridge the Gap was successful, I literally saw the need for a curriculum, because everyone, superintendents and principals were saying, well, we love Bridge the Gap, but what do you have for the test scores? And as I saw, these schools losing accreditations because they couldn't get the kids engaged and get the test scores up, I said, I need to help do this. And it actually took probably 3 more years to do 12 years of education. But literally, when I say it's aligned with the national state standards, every single item line that the students need to know in the description of what they need to know, not only to pass the test, but to understand that subject, that became my to-do list. And I produced songs for every single topic. So you're looking at over 600 songs it took to handle everything from phonics and learning your alphabets to writing essays, or if we're dealing with counting, to trigger in music form.
Wow. And when you say all done in music form, so you got the music and the lesson and the academics all combined.
All combined. Schoolhouse rock on steroids.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing, and I'll just say this, is that back in the dark ages when I was about to do my student teaching, and I don't know what happened to this concept,
Okay.
but what the instructor told me is that in order to really teach, in order to impart information, or in order to get somebody to understand something, you got to take that kid or that person from the known to the unknown. Now, at the time, and then I'll never forget, she used the example, take for example, a chemical change.
Okay.
She said you go to your refrigerator and then you get a Coca-Cola and then you get a box of baking soda and then you pour the Coca-Cola into the box of baking soda, and that's a chemical change.
Right.
Well, see, kids know what Coca-Cola is, they know what baking soda is, so that's taking the kid from the known to the unknown.
Right.
But then talk about how your application of rap music is basically doing the same thing and adopting that same old principle.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll do better than talk about it. I'll give you an example.
All right.
So let's take, I don't know, we can do math, science, social studies, English. I guess math is one of those topics, the more harder issues. So let's tackle and give an example of geometry. And I'll show you a clip of that.
Okay. That'll be very, very good. So where do you plan to go with your project, your program, and how successful has it been? And talk about the different elements now, because I'm wondering whether somebody like a daycare center, a small private school, or maybe even Head Start, or any of these educational institutions would be able to utilize it, or do they need to have, big money, so they can buy them by the hundreds?
No, not at all. I mean, we have our curriculum, of course, is now being launched in the school systems, but we also have our consumer product curriculum to where, it's for under $14.99 or something like that. Actually, you're able to just every month you're able to go online and learn. You're able to go on and listen to all the songs, and this can be great for like your your kids, like my daughter's 3 and she's doing her timetables from all the way up to 12s from listening to curriculum. So it's a great tool to accelerate the learning. It's a great tool for tutoring, or if you need to catch up, it's awesome on that end. It's worked great with our actual youth with autism. So you can put this in any element, whether it's like you said, daycare centers. We're actually in pre-K now, and this is a wonderful story. There's a student that just got here from Africa, knew no English, and neither did their parents. And every day she sits at the computer and listens to curriculum, and it blew their minds of how she was able. Now she's reading, she's knowing their sight words and everything from listening and watching curriculum. So, with every song, as you can see, there's videos that come with it, so it catches the auditory and the visual learner. So it can literally work across the board.
How does one have to buy the program in order to become more familiar with it? I mean, suppose there's a parent out there, a superintendent or an educator, who say, well, this sounds pretty interesting. How can I learn more about it?
They can go to our website, which is www.coolricculum, KOOLRICULM.com. And they can also go to www.bridgedagap.org. The DA is for Developing Academics. And you can see both of our programs, and actually even on the curriculum site, they can actually get a chance to see different videos and examples and actually go from there.
Wow, that's just absolutely phenomenal. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, interviewing Mr. Kelvin Khao, the conceptualizer and developer of curriculum and Bridge the Gap. We'll be right back.
We were doing Bridge the Gap. There were so many superintendents that would come to me and principals that would say, hey, we love what Bridge the Gap is doing. What do you have to help us as far as raising the test scores? And I'm like, you know what? I need to look a little more into this and see what's really going on. Let's just face it, our education system is outdated. It's like an assembly line to where everybody is expected to learn the same thing at the same time, the same way. And unfortunately, it just doesn't happen that way. You have auditory learners, visual learners, kinesthetics. They learn in so many different ways, and it doesn't align with this outdated school system. And that brings us to what we're talking about today, curriculum, that teaches everything that our kids need to know in math, science, social studies, and English from kindergarten to 12th grade. And we even did a pre-K section. So that's 13 years of education, all in music form, meeting our youth right where they are. I want you to see it for yourself.
Khao.
Good morning, class. Oh, yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, come on, W, X, Y, and Z. High five. Hey, y'all, throw your hands up high. Count your fingers, we can count by 5. Hey, y'all, throw your hands up high. Count your fingers, we can count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65.
Paragraph, paragraph, write your thoughts in a paragraph. Paragraph, paragraph, write those facts in a paragraph. Now see, a paragraph is when you write 3 or 4 sentences, and sometimes 5, about a subject or a topic, or an idea, to share the information, a narrative creation to tell us a story.
Okay, class, today we are going to talk a little bit about
Light. Color. The red is made of color.
color the sun makes light. Anything that you can see is made with the eyesight. Light waves produced from the sun makes light, makes colors and darkness and even black and white. Both of the eyes are based around two things. The pupil in the retina is really what makes you see. If it's too bright, the pupil begins hiding. If it's too dark, the pupil begins showing. One day when I grow up, I'ma build a giant house. I'ma drive a giant truck. I'ma have a giant lake. Inside a giant duck. Airplane in my backyard. In case of a giant rush. When I told my mama, she said I better learn geometry. Gotta make sure I got enough space set aside if I really wanna fit my dream. So, how wide is the land gonna be? How tall is the house you see? Multiply those up, and the answer's area. Look around, round, look around, round. Look around, round, round, look around, round. I'm in your area, I'm in your area, I'm in your area, I'm in your area, I'm in your. Look around, round, look around, round. Look around, round, look around, round, round. I'm in your area, I'm in your area, I'm in your area, I'm in your area. Gotta romance it, write it up. Gotta romance it, write it up. Gotta romance it, write it up. Everybody ready, okay. I'ma teach you the best way to start writing out your essay. Get your pen and pencil ready, let's play.
Yeah, found my angle, yeah. I found my angle, geometry. 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 Let's go with naming. 2 points A and C. Raised through each the vertex is the place they meet. Let's call that point B and the angle ABC. N or CBA or just angle B. Stay with me. Use a protractor to count degrees. An angle is right if an angle is 90. Obtuse if it's bigger and acute if it's tinier. That's how we classify the angles that we're finding. Parallel lines are 2 lines that'll never meet. Intersecting lines meet at 1 point only. If they're perpendicular, they intersect to make a T. And or a right angle, and or 90 degrees.
Man, I was right there on that one. Alright, you got a problem, I'ma help you work it out. I'ma help you work it out. You got a problem, I'ma help you work it out. I'ma help you work it out. You got a problem, I'ma help you work it out. I'ma help you work it out. I'ma help you work it out. Help you work it out.
We're back, and I'm so happy to be able to have this young man on the show today. Not because he's a fine young fellow, but because he thought it would not be robbery to engage in a project and an activity that's going to really help the community, and particularly our young people educationally. And the interesting thing about Mr. Kelvin Cage is that he has been able to develop this program which kind of reaches young people where they are and motivates them to go to the next level. And it's a 2-pronged program. One is Bridge the Gap, and he's going to talk just a little bit more about that. And the other one is Curriculum. And not only are they, not only do you have workbooks and videos and things of that nature, but it's my understanding that a tablet comes with it.
Yeah, definitely. We've been blessed to have some great, I have some great friends and great board members that's been a part. Some of our board members are people like NFL Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. We have Carrie Schwab Pomerantz, the daughter to Charles Schwab, and over the whole financial side. Dr. Ben Carson is on our board. Megan Good, of course, but we've had a lot of people who've been there and supportive. And one of our board members was actually in China meeting with the head of Foxconn, which is a company that designs all the Apple products, the iPhones, the Kindles, and Nintendos, you name it, they manufacture it. And they started talking about me, and we got on the phone, and make a long story short, we created the Bridge the Gap tablet.
Wow.
So this is our tablet, and it's loaded up with all of our content. It runs off the Android system, but if we were doing pre-K, we can play different videos, and so that's really, a cool thing. And then also, if we were doing science, math, English, history, it's all here. And for every topic we zero in, where they're able to watch the video, but also it tells them the definition of what they're learning, where it's used in everyday life, and how it actually works. And we did a partnership with Khan Academy as well, so they're able to actually do activities with Khan Academy as well. So the tablet, I'm not per se in the tablet business, so my thing was to create it as another tool to help the communities and the schools out. So they get it at cost, they get the content, and now we're helping on the technology end as well as the academic end.
Wow, that's just nothing short of phenomenal. Let me say this, young man. I'm proud of you, boy.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. And it just warms my heart because I know, as you know, you and I were at a school this morning. And, these are good kids out there. Right. And they can learn. But I think it's incumbent upon the system to come up with the approaches that's going to put them in a situation where they can learn. And I think taking music, particularly rap music, and applying it positively to the educational system will make a phenomenal difference in the lives of our children, not only as it relates to academics, but also behaviorally, because behavior is very important also. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Mr. Kelvin Khao, the founder of Bridge the Gap and Curriculum. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dad.
www.makingblackpages.com. www.makingblackpages.com.